Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back with another 10 metal bands you haven't heard but should. It's a bit of a mixed one, this video, genre-wise. So yeah, this video is way behind. The reasons being that I've just been super busy. Recently had Keep It True in Germany, and well, Keep It True Rising and Abyss Festival in Sweden. So it's been a great year for shows and festivals. Nice to be back doing tons of stuff after COVID, of course. So yeah, that's what I've been up to, just the usual stuff, and yeah, with added heavy metal, of course. First up, we have a UK band. We have Vacuous with their debut full-length following the Catabasis EP, which I really liked and still need a copy of. But these are a London-based group. The vinyl is on Meisako, as I know, Jesus really wanted to happen. I remember him telling me the EP was really cool, and that's how these guys came onto my radar. So it's really cool that they got them for the full length. I think the full length is... The EP kind of gave a good promise of what they could do, and then the album did it a thousandfold. Fuck Hype Endless Disappointment did the cassette, while Dark Descent did the CD off the top of my head. I only have the vinyl of this one, but yeah, it sounds absolutely killer. It's death metal and it's old school, as you might guess from this kind of artwork, but it's not just, say, like, I don't know, Morbid Angel worship or Entombed worship. It kind of has quite a big mix. Like, it has DBT bits, these more kind of punky bits, but then it has this kind of big cavernous kind of sound, but it's not going too far into that kind of cavern core thing. Or I've seen that term thrown around quite a bit. I still don't really understand what it means, but I guess it's sort of slow tremolo picked riffs. Like, it has that, but it also has so much bite. Crossspitter is probably a band I'd compare them to a bit, which is a really cool band I've not had on the channel yet. Need to get some of their stuff. But yeah, Vacuous absolutely nailed it. This is probably my favourite death metal record this year. So yeah, Dreams of Dysphoria is the title. And that's the other thing is, it kind of doesn't just go for the kind of gore and creepy stuff. So, like, I know the band inject quite a lot of like mental health and like it really into their theme and kind of feel, and it does feel quite kind of anguishing to listen to. So there's a kind of quite a genuine side to it as well, which with death metal you don't maybe get as much as black metal. That being said, it's not kind of like the whole like wimpy crybaby stuff. It's fucking evil sounding record. Speaking of which, we have Schizophrenia. Saw these guys recently with Butcher, Exciter, some other bands at Studfest. They were killer live. They even did a Morbid Angel cover, which I think was Maze of Torment off the top of my head. It was something off Altars of Madness, and I'm pretty sure it's that, and I adore that album. These guys play Death-Thrash in the vein of early Morbid Angel, i.e. like EP kind of era Morbid Angel, Possessed, Sarcophago. They've definitely got the kind of Florida death metal sound, but they've not forgotten that came from thrash, and I think that really shows. I actually really prefer the cassette artwork. I like the vinyl and CD artwork, but for Dying Victims who did the cassette, I actually think this is a way cooler cover, just my own aesthetic preference, and I really like the purple bloodied logo. But yeah, these guys ruled live, and they were all wearing Morbid Angel shirts, which I thought was kind of cool. If you're gonna sync up your outfits, do it Morbid Angel style. But yeah, I think these guys are in a bunch of other projects, just 'cause that whole kind of Belgian and Dutch and German group of bands, you know, with like Evil Invaders, Butcher, Skeletal from France. They all share a few members, so I'm sure these guys are in some other stuff. My mind's drawing a blank now, but yeah, if you like your old school death thrash, they've got a real kind of 80s thing, as you might guess from the artwork. Pretty young guys from the look of them too, and that they are extremely tight, you know, really good players. Now we have a band which also goes very much evil death metal, Necros Christos from Germany. This is probably a bit of a bigger one. I had a see-in on the channel, which is the band formed from the ashes of Necros Christos, but I was thinking to myself recently, did I ever put Necros Christos on an episode? And alas, I didn't. Similarly, they have a very Eastern kind of what's the word I'm thinking of, like mystique, I guess, to it. This is the Nine Graves EP, which sits at like 40 something minutes, so I don't know how you call it an EP, but I guess when your album's over an hour, then that's how. If you like stuff like Grave Miasma, of course, Seeing, Sadistic Intent, those kinds of bands. In fact, I just saw Seeing support Sadistic Intent and they were killer. While Seeing went more for the kind of death thrash thing, a bit like Schizophrenia, but maybe a bit more kind of crazy sounding. Necros Christos is more in the kind of doomier side of death, but not kind of in a way that loses its intensity. It's very kind of lumbering and chasmic sounding. Really cool stuff. I think this is their strongest work in my opinion. And yeah, it is just a really, really intense and foreboding kind of a sound on this one. Now we have some black metal. We have, I'll take it out of that thing, SAR Krista. This is a 7-inch. They recently put out a really cool album, or not that recently, maybe. Yeah, this is a really cool little EP. It's kind of melodic black metal in the kind of German and Finnish group of sounds that I guess have some overlap. Sarkrista being from Germany, I think I'm going to really kick myself if I got that wrong. And this is Under Sentence of Death on Purity Through Fire. Yeah, if you like black metal with some of the kind of more haunting melodies that still remain savage and quite raw, then yeah, this is a really good one. I love this 7 inches. Sort of, it doesn't have time to get boring as well, which is one thing I love about 7 inches of this style, because bands, I mean that album doesn't, but bands of this ilk have a tendency to make albums where you kind of feel that there might be a couple tracks that didn't really need to be there. That doesn't happen here, and it doesn't happen on their album, in fairness. And next we have another English band, which is a new EP on Cruise Dulcer from Dark Forest. These guys have been going quite a while. I want to say since the 90s, maybe early 2000s. I might have got that wrong. If you like fantasy kind of epic heavy metal with some kind of folkish and doomy bits, I'm trying to think of that band that put out a really killer EP this year, and again it's just drawing a blank. It's a Finnish band. No, it's gone. Sorry guys, but yeah, Dark Forest is really cool. The vocals on this, I think, are going to be a bit, you know, love them or hate them kind of things. They're very power metal-y, whereas there's a kind of rocky pace to some of this part. But yeah, I really like this. The Golden Acre and Ridge and Furrow especially are two really killer songs, and yeah, you can kind of get what it's about. It's got quite a kind of magical feel to it. Definitely good walk in the woods in autumn kind of record, in my opinion. Now we have some American kind of heavy metal stuff. Metal Archives is saying heavy metal stroke hard rock, and I can kind of see that. It has the more kind of rocky pace. I reckon there's some new wave of British heavy metal influence on this. This one's on Cruise Dulcer again. I'm just pulling up notes. It's definitely got that kind of proto-metal kind of sound, so if you like your kind of Pagan Altar and Angel Witch, and for newer bands like Parish and Witch Hazel, I think this will appeal. It's, again, got quite a mystical feel, much like the Dark Forest one. It's called Deadly Charms. Yeah, so it's a really nicely crafted album. It's got a cool, very old school sounding production. Wouldn't be too surprised if, you know, they actually used old gear and stuff. It feels quite authentically old, and I like that when bands are trying to go for that. Now we have one with a really cracked case, which is some German power metal from Spellbook. This isn't how the case came. I must have put it in a case that I have now noticed there's a big crack in it. As I've mentioned before, sometimes stuff just, you know, usually promo stuff for me comes without the shell cases, just so it doesn't cost the companies a fortune to ship it. In this case, I kind of boxed up which case I used, and I just realised in this case was a really funny pun. So yeah, Natskog does comedy now. Really cool little EP called Strangle With Care, which is one of those names. I'm not sure if it's so lame it's called, or if it's so cool it's lame, but I kid. It's a really good album. It's that kind of German, quite just straightforward. They clearly love heavy metal and they play it well, so why not? And I'm a bit of a sucker for that kind of stuff. There's an almost childlike wonder the Germans have towards heavy metal, which I relate to far more than the kind of more, oh, I'm too cool for it kind of thing that you get, especially in black metal, where you kind of get people that are almost ashamed of heavy metal despite playing it, if that makes sense. I really don't understand this. I think it's even with genres like black and death metal with a more extreme sound, if there's nothing resembling heavy metal in there. My phone just ran out of storage, which is what I'm filming on, so my bad. But yeah, definitely, if you know, heavy metal needs to be at the core of any metal stuff, and these guys play it well, is the end of that statement. I'm just wrapping this up now a bit more because in case my phone does that again. Nordjevel, really cool Norwegian band, combining, I guess, the old school Norwegian sound with maybe a slightly more contemporary sound. I think if you like black metal just full of the old school spirit, then these guys will definitely be for you. This is on Indie Recordings. Really cool band. Had the pleasure of seeing them a few years ago, and they're really good live. Very kind of old school attitude to playing black metal without necessarily just aping, you know, Dark Throne riffs and stuff. I think they do a really good job of that. Yeah, this is one I'm not going to feel the need to talk about too much, because I think quite a lot of people have discovered this band by now, but all the same, Nordjevel, great stuff. Now we have Timor et Tremor. I'm looking at how you might say that, and I've probably butchered that, so I'm very sorry. They're from Hesse in Germany, and they play really cool pagan black metal. In fact, I'm going to tie these two together, which is another pagan black metal band, also from Germany, called Firtan. Again, I'm probably saying that wrong, but I think both of these together are a great pairing. This is on our Trollzorn, while this is on AOP Records. Sorry, I had to look at that, unprepared as always. Yeah, if you like your pagan black metal with some kind of melody, some folky parts, but still playing really killer black metal, both of these are definitely for you. Sorry I had to kind of rush that ending, but I just had no idea if my phone was going to do that, and I wanted as few chops in this video. Now there's only one other than between the intro. So I'm going to shut up before it does it again. Until next time, stay metal.